whenever we present our plan to the clients, number one question which comes back is that, is it too many emails? No brand want to spam their audience. They want to be respectful of their audience preferences and they want to minimize the frequency. We will be discussing everything you need to take to limit your frequency and not get that complaint again that you are sending too many emails. So what is too many? In our experience, if you are sending like 2 emails per week to a single person, that's not considered as too many. If you are just sending like 2 campaigns per week, that's not an issue. And also if there are like 4-5 automations live, that's also not an issue, because automations are mostly trigger based. So if customer abandons a cart, then he is getting an email. If customer registers on the website, then he is getting the email. We want to send more emails during that time because customer has just came on the website. So if you are sending more during that frequency where the customer is active, then it does not matter, and those are highly converting emails. Coming back to it, steps to limit count of emails per user. So one is account level throttling. So account level throttling is very straightforward. It's where we throttle everything on the account level. So it's not done smartly, it's a brute force approach. I would not recommend this, but if you have to do this and you are getting like too many complaints or too many unsubscribe rate is very high, then you can go for this, but this is not advisable. What it does, it does not gives us a ability to choose what kind of emails are important and what kind of emails are not important. So if there is a cart abandonment email or anything like that, those kind of emails might get missed out in this. This is not available in Klaviyo, but this is available in, I think, in MailChimp and definitely in HubSpot and ActiveCampaign. Most of the enterprise tools have these kind of tools, but this is a good safeguard. Like you can keep a number like 10 or something like very high over here. It's just to ensure that no automations, if it's like automation is not working properly or any like there is a mistake or anything went horribly wrong in the account, then this is at least stops at a level. So it will never be the case that someone might get like 50-60 emails. Maximum they will get like 10 emails or 7-8 emails. Next is account level time spacing. So Klaviyo has a smart sending feature which restricts email for certain duration. So they have a duration of like 8 hours, 16 hours or 24 hours. I think 16 hours is by default, but we typically keep it like 8 hours. It's not enforced till the time you choose what automations or what email campaigns needs to be enforce this, but this is like a safeguarding metric. But this is quite cool, like for bulk or for resends or anything like that, you can keep this on and it really helps you to play around with lot of strategy. But at least the experience remains that customer will never get more than 1 email in that duration. So that's a really helpful feature. And this is same applicable for SMS. SMS is typically by default is 24 hours. We also keep it 24 hours. So once you have your account level settings, now the idea is to deploy that setting. So one is the automation level. So typically we don't recommend putting up lot of smart send restriction on the automations if you have like low count of automations or if you are not sending too many emails. Or similarly, if the automations are set up nicely, like there is a nicely exclusions are there. So if someone is moved into second automation, you take them out from the first automation. So if those kind of settings are there, you don't need to put up like a smart sending. So smart sending, I would say, is a lazy approach and it's not a efficient approach. It's just a like a bandage on the real problem. So but it helps with that. But the idea is that if you can restrict the automations and you can plan the automation like a funnel. So if customer is in this automation, they will not be in second automation. So if they are in checkout, they will not be in cart. If they are in cart, they will not be in browse. If they are in browse, they will not be in welcome. So if you can exclude anything like that, then it's gold. If you're not able to exclude, or if you feel that there are 2 automations, like what we faced was search versus product page, category page. So search page and category page are the same levels on the funnel. So customer might be on the search page also and customer might be on the category page also. So in those cases, we have used like this filter, but typically we don't like to put up smart sending in automation. So one use case which came during our analysis, in the delivery reports, we were seeing high gaps in frequency and automations were working fine on the rest of the days, but at one day there was a huge dip in automations. Then automations tend to work fine, and typically those days were the same days when we sent out a campaign. So we used to send the campaigns. The automations, due to smart sending, the automations used to get suppressed, and on the day we sent out a campaign, none of the emails from automation went to the customer, and that was resulting in huge losses for the company. So what we did was that we tried to put up a flow level filter, so we don't need to have the smart sending, or at least turn off smart sending on the important automation. But typically if you sent out a campaign to all on your list at 9 a.m. and now you have a 16 hours of smart send, so there will be no automations going to the user till 1 at midnight. So the idea is that avoid automations and use only if you are fully confident about flow level exclusion. Second option in flows is using tags. I have seen implementation using tags or user property to control multiple emails. This was an old way, and we have done it like in some other tools in ActiveCampaign or in MailChimp also, but this is not advisable and it's not a healthy practice. And tags typically go out of hand very soon. But if you feel that your automations are limited or the tool is limited, you can use tags to exclude user within the flow and outside the flow. So typically what happens that if someone enters the cart, you put a tag that customer has entered the cart, is in cart or something like that, and once the customer ends the automation, then you put up exclusion and or remove that tag, and you check that tag in other automation that if someone is in that already has that tag, we don't send those emails. So that's a tag thing, but that's not advisable as of now. Next is campaign level. So at campaign level, we leave it on, and it's useful and avoid sending emails to the people who are already in automation. So the idea is that we prioritize automations in all our strategy, and if someone is in automation, we typically don't want them to get the emails or campaigns, at least for theme related campaigns. If there is a very important sale or anything, you can blast to everyone, but for anything theme related, we want them to get the automation email because they are very high ROI, high performing emails, and automations tend to don't have that kind of volume. So emails from automations might be like 1,000, 2,000 emails in a day, where in a campaign you might be sending 200k. If you are sending like 2 campaigns in a day or anything like that, so in that case you have to manually monitor through the segmentation, because this setting might suppress if you are sending 2 campaigns within 16 hours, but that's highly unlikely. If you are planning very highly segmented campaigns like 3 segments, different audience, different campaigns, then also this helps, because this will exclude or that will restrict by segments. You might have tried to exclude the audiences, but still leaving it on is always a fail-safe measure, and we typically tend to keep it open for campaigns. Second way is create an anti-stalker segment. So this is a strategy which I learned somewhere else. So this is basically that you create a segment where you meant like anyone who has received an email in last 24 hours, and then you exclude them from all the communication. Yeah. So that's it. So I hope this was useful. Last thing is that don't worry too much about sending. If your unsubscribe rate is less than 0.2%, you don't need to worry too much about it. Sometimes what happens is that there is some angry customer who have dropped an email on the support that you are spamming or you are sending out too many emails and those kind of things. But if you look at the number, if the number is less than 0.2 and the account level, like if you have 100 subscribers, so 2 subscribers, or if you have 1,000 subscribers, so 2 subscribers can unsubscribe with every campaign, or on the monthly level it can be like maximum 1% of the audience size. So if you are having a audience size of 100k, then like a 1k audience can leave in a month, but not more than that. And if you are seeing unsubscribe rate more than that, then you need to work more on the segment level or on the exclusion level, but don't use bandage or like fail-safe measures. Like these are additional helps, but I would say having a right strategy or a right exclusion is always better than using these kind of a brute force method, because these tend to compromise the performance, and some important emails might get missed out in these kind of situations. I hope this was useful, and if you find value, please do subscribe to our channel for everything around email marketing and retention. Thank you.